Office romances happened before the pandemic, but now that workers have remote and hybrid options, is office romance a thing of the past? Joining us now to break it all down is local professional matchmaker Kelly Numair from It's Just Lunch, San Francisco. Kelly, thank you so much. We appreciate it for joining us.
Thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure.
Of course. First and foremost, why do office romances oftentimes happen?
Office romances are way more common than we think. In fact, a recent study has shown that more than half of the U.S. workforce has either had a crush or a relationship with someone that they've worked with, which does really make sense. We spend a lot of time at work and under pressure, deadlines, we get to lean on each other, therefore the romance will blossom and bloom. So I actually met my husband at work.
Oh, wow, that's awesome, though. I love that. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a successful story for you.
20 years later.
Now, when it comes to working from home and these hybrid work situations, how has that oftentimes changed the outlook of office romances?
Office romances have actually increased during the pandemic. Another study has shown that a third of the U.S. workforce has entered a relationship with a coworker. During the pandemic, oftentimes the only interaction that we had with each other was our coworkers. Everything closed down literally for the first 4 months, and that was our interaction, was our coworkers. We found comfort in each other. We really got to see each other in a very vulnerable and honest position. Something globally had happened that we had never dealt with before, and our coworkers were there to offer support and, you know, that little cushion. So yeah, a third entered a relationship.
That's a lot. That's actually a lot more than I thought. A third. That's quite a bit of people. Now, what should people keep in mind if they do want to engage in an office romance?
So there's a few things, right? Office romances can get sticky and messy. First thing that you want to do is make sure that you know the rules, right? If you don't know the rules, check with your HR department or your manual. There's a lot of rules have changed, especially in the last 3 or 4 years. And you want to avoid a lawsuit, so definitely know the rules. You also want to have a work-life balance. You don't want to be talking about work 24/7. You may be tempted to talk with your partner after the office about work all day long. That can get to be a slippery slope, and things can get a little messy. You definitely don't want to be showing public acts of display of affection in the office place. So you definitely want to keep work, and your personal life personal. And then the last thing really is just stay true to yourself, right? We can often get lost in romantic relationships. You don't want that to skew you from your goals as an employee or your career goals. So definitely stay true to yourself.
And by staying true to yourself, do you think it's best to go public or keep something like that personal?
I personally say keep it separate, right? You want to avoid judgment from other coworkers. You want to keep, again, your work life work and your personal life private. You want to be excited to get home to your partner and really just talk about things that you guys love, hobbies, interests, plan your weekends. Definitely keep it private.
And you know, unfortunately, Kelly, sometimes these office romances don't always work out. So what would be some tips that you have to give people if it doesn't end up working out in their favor?
No one wants to quit their job because something didn't work out, and you don't have to. At some point, have that conversation, right? It might be a difficult conversation for you to have, but definitely get the card on the table. Hey, listen, I don't want this to end, nor am I intending it to end. However, if it does, what's our plan? Are we going to take different lunch breaks? Are you going to go into work this day and I'll go the next day? How are you going to balance that out? Or maybe decide to be friends, but definitely have that conversation.
Well, thank you so much, Kelly, for joining us here on Live in the Bay. As usual, it's such a pleasure. We appreciate all of your insight.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. To reach out to Kelly, you can just head to itsjustlunchsanfrancisco.com. And of course, we'll also have a link on our website at liveinthebay.tv.